Homemade sauerkraut. Half of the cabbage with the core cut out. Cut the cabbage into small squares. Shredded cabbage put into the pot. Add 1 tablespoon of salt into the cabbage, into the pot. I'm using Celtic gray salt, but it can be any salt that's without iodine. Then just make sure that the salt is evenly distributed into the cabbage. And once you're happy with that, just leave it for 20 minutes so the salt makes the cabbage softer. 20 minutes has passed and we'll see how our cabbage looks like. The cabbage looks almost wet. It's much softer now, so it looks like it's ready. So what we're going to do now, I'm using the potato masher to squeeze the cabbage. Not very hard, but just enough so some juices start coming out of the cabbage. And the cabbage is going to be looking much like wet because the juices of the cabbages are coming out. And I will just try to do this for a while. I can actually move this around and then try to push it a little bit more. And I will just work through the cabbage this way. My cabbage is going to go to this mason jar, and I'm using this glass to put on top, to put weight on top of the cabbage. I'm putting some boiling water on the glass to make it sterile. So I'm sure that this is hot. I'm going to turn it around, and so this is boiling water just to make sure that everything is clean, and this will go on top of the cabbage. Now the cabbage let some juices out, so as you can see there is some water on top, so it's very soft, and yeah, there's some water, you can see that. So now the cabbage is ready to be put into the jar because there's enough juices and it's soft enough. So next step is going to be the cabbage is going to go to the jar. Make sure that the cabbage is tucked in tight, so you can actually have the entire half cabbage in one jar. Just make sure that it's tucked really tight so the juice can actually flow to the top. I squeezed the cabbage really tight, so it's actually not the full jar now, but that's okay. I usually try to make it up to the top. So I'm going to put the weight on top. Oh yeah, there's enough juice, so it should be enough. All right, and now I'm just going to close the jar, not too tight because, well, it doesn't have to be that tight. And I'm going to put this in here. Usually I have my jar up to the top, so there might be some juices coming out, but in this instance I'm safe. But I still am going to put this in this glass container just to make sure that nothing leaks out on the counter. And I will check from time to time, open the jar once a day or so for about a week, just to make sure that the air comes out. This is not tight, so some air is coming out of there as well. So this is my sauerkraut, and in about 2 weeks, I usually wait for 2 weeks. The sauerkraut is ready to eat and doesn't have anything, just the cabbage and the salt, and it's very healthy. Enjoy it.